Hello and welcome to the Ilene Silverman Show. I'm your host Ilene, and on this week's program, our guest Xavier White, CEO of the Early Learning Coalition of Alachua County, shares the many ways that this organization helps children and families prepare for success in school and life. Their mission: ready for school, ready for life. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us for our program. I'm delighted to introduce my guest, Xavier White, Chief Executive Officer, Early Learning Coalition of Alachua County. And Xavier, it's wonderful to have you here to join us and to talk about the Early Learning Coalition.
It is my pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me on your show.
Certainly. I was glad we got to meet at a chamber breakfast and get to know each other. And I'm thinking back to several years back when I was a part of Early Learning Coalition and fundraisers that we had involving a hoedown and barbecue showdown, and right after Gainesville was called Titletown. That's where that whole idea came from. But it really gave me a feel for Early Learning Coalition. So I'm proud that we have this opportunity that you can tell us all about it. And when did you get involved with this organization?
I have been in the role of CEO since October of 24, and so it is a pleasure to serve in this role, to be able to serve the children and the families here in Alachua County.
Thank you. Well, I know everyone's glad to have you, and you have a background we discussed in social services, and I can see a deep heart and belief in all children being able to read. It seems like such a simple thing, but it's not when the opportunity's not given to you.
Yeah, reading is fundamental, and everybody should have the opportunity. Our vision at Early Learning Coalition is ready for school and ready for life. And so we want to make sure that we're playing our role and making sure that every child in Alachua County has the opportunity to learn to read, to be able to strengthen their family situation and their future.
Well said. And help us understand, you're discussing your mission, but how it all, has evolved. It started to where you were saying it's been, a number of years, and came through the state legislature that there are other early learning coalitions, I believe, in the state of Florida. But and you're about to have a new facility. Congratulations.
Thank
in
you.
Downtown Gainesville, a new office. Well deserved.
So there are 30 coalitions around the state of Florida, and so the one that for Alachua County Early Learning Coalition of Alachua, we serve only residents in Alachua County.
Okay.
And our residents that we serve, our children are 0 to 12 years old.
All right.
We have 122 early learning partners that partner alongside us to provide early learning education to the children.
A lot of people to keep care of.
Yes.
About how many young people do you serve on an average in a year?
About 2,000 is the number that we're serving right now.
Right now.
We currently have 700 on our waiting list that we would love to have the opportunity to pull off of the waiting list.
I mean, when you say 700 on the wait list, that kind of just sets me back. Mm-hmm. All those kids.
Yes, ma'am.
Needing the help. And explain a little more about your understanding about the importance of reading and where these kids are before we get into the VPK and such, because you have great knowledge of it, and I appreciate that.
So really with reading, some people may think that reading starts whenever you hit kindergarten and you're starting to learn the classroom structure, but reading starts early on. I mean, even in pregnancy, you can read out loud to your child and they begin to learn your voice and know things about you. So imagine the impact that you'll have if you start reading when you're pregnant, and when that child comes out, and that you have that consistency of reading every single day, of being able to hear words, to hear the pronunciation and learn the meaning, and so that you have a young child that's getting that education starting from the beginning, the impact that it will have later on. Here in Gainesville, we have about 47% of children that are reading below grade level.
Wow. And just think, from like 0 to 4, say your mind is the most fertile, imprinting the tone, the words, so it becomes integral to you, so it's a part of you, and the kids look forward to reading.
They do.
Instead of, oh, I have to read, but yay, I get to read.
It's building that passion, so that
Right.
if you show passion whenever they're reading, whenever you're reading to them, they're going to pick up on that passion, and they're going to want to do it. They're going to want to hear that story. They're going to have their own imaginations that's just turning around as they're picturing the story or the character that you're
Right.
reading about, and that just brings that nature of just wanting to learn.
Right,
for
brings the
children.
level up. Well said. We're going to take a quick break, but stay with us. We have much more to cover. We're back talking about the Early Learning Coalition of Alachua County with Xavier White, Chief Executive Officer and now good friend.
Absolutely. Great friend. It's a pleasure to be here, Eileen.
Thank you, Xavier. And tell me, expand on the Early Learning Coalition. Talk about, how do the families find you and you get connected to the families? How does the whole thing evolve?
Our families can go to our website, www.elcalachua.org, and there's a link that they can go on to complete an application for services. In order to be eligible for our programs, the families must either be, the parent must be working at least 20 hours, or they can be in school. And once they submit the application to us, our staff will go through the process to determine if they're eligible for services.
Okay. Is your website available to the parents? Is that how, or they can come into the office, or different options?
Right now we're available online because we just had a recent move, which we're really
That's right.
excited about. We're hoping to be open by November the 3rd to the public, so that the families can come in to see us. They can also call us at 352-475-4110.
All right, perfect. And again, so then you connect the kids to the different opportunities. And how does it evolve also with your voluntary pre-K? Expand on that a little bit more so we understand.
So first I'll say that once the parent is determined to be eligible, they have the option to choose between the 122 early education partners that we have. And so they'll make the decision usually based off either where they live or where they work, and they can choose anywhere in Alachua County. And we can provide searches so that they can, if they give us a zip code, we can give them a list that shows the centers that's in their area. We have providers that are our early learning educators are home centers. We have religious providers. We have for-profit providers and nonprofit providers that work alongside us in providing early education
of opportunities. Okay.
Yes.
And explain a little more about what a child might learn when, at one of the centers.
So the early learning centers, they usually have a curriculum that of the choice of the actual center. They choose their curriculum. We don't choose that for them. They have an array of them that they can choose from, and those curriculums provide age-appropriate education for their child. So if your child is an infant, you're looking at more play things that they can do as far as with motor control. If your child is a 2-year-old, you may see things like sight words and then some other motor skills that's going to help them with
At
writing.
that age appropriate.
That's age appropriate for the child. And then when you get to our VPKers and our 3-year-old and 4-year-olds,
Right.
that is the age to where we're trying to prep them so that they will be ready for kindergarten.
For kindergarten, right. Which is one of the programs I feel a lot of people recognize through the Early Learning Coalition. But through all of these different years, still you're emphasizing, well, school readiness, ready to learn, and that still goes back to being able to read.
Absolutely.
And we were talking before, and you were helping me understand the disparity in reading within our community at large. Can you explain a little about that?
There is a disparity. Our African American population here in Alachua County is 75% below the reading level. Overall, here in Alachua County, we're at 47% for reading level as far as being ready to read on grade level. And so there's a lot of work. That problem is not going to be solved just by one entity. It's not just a problem of the school board. It's not just a problem of the parent. It is a community problem, and we all have to work together to fix that problem. We have partnerships with several agencies here in Alachua County. And so one of our biggest partners is Children's Trust, and you see a lot that they're doing all over the community.
I see that. They're a future guest. I know. They tie together. It's a
Yes.
strong partnership for you and for others. So it's really important. And reading is important, and every child in this community deserves that opportunity in life. And reading is the building block.
It is, because once you learn it, no one can ever take it away from you. That reading to me is not just about one community, but if you break it down to one child at a time, one center at a time, or one classroom at a time, and you look around, and then you will have a whole community that's able to just get to the next level because they have that literacy. I can get a contract, I can read it, and I can understand it.
Right.
But if we don't push that education and that literacy, where's our future going to be? We all have the opportunity to help with the future.
Well said. We're going to take another quick break. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're talking about the Early Learning Coalition of Alachua County. And Xavier, tell us about the voluntary pre-K program.
The VPK program is our voluntary pre-kindergarten program. It is for 4 and 5-year-olds who have not entered into kindergarten. Any child in Gainesville, regardless of the income of the family, will be eligible for this program. Our early learning partners that provide the program, they have to have at least 4 children in the room and 2 teachers in the room for the VPK program. We are excited to have that because that is an awesome opportunity for children to get exposed to what it's going to be like to enter into a classroom setting.
Right, so they know what to expect.
Absolutely.
Right, and if a child has not been in your other programs, can they start at that and still have the opportunity to start there with the VPK?
Yes, they can apply specifically for our VPK program.
Okay, so it covers reading and just the atmosphere of class.
Yes, and just the structure of a
structure of a class. You know, you think back to your early years and thinking how frightening that would be if you were not in any way prepared. That could really put a child into a bad, unfortunate situation of not liking school.
It could, but
and setting off a whole set of circumstances.
But when they have the opportunity to meet new friends, you go in, you have met some friends in class, you have a teacher, you have a structure that's set up that's similar to a school setting.
Then you're getting ready.
You're getting ready.
Ready for life.
Yeah, ready for school, ready for life.
And then you like school and you look forward to it.
Absolutely.
And that goes back to being able to read and appreciate wanting to read.
Yes, I love to read.
Me too. We've shared we don't read enough as adults, but that we could sit up all night reading a book
until the words are blurry, like I have to finish this book.
And I think that's what takes you into the schools to do what you do, to read to them. Tell me about your program that not only do you read, but you dress up in character.
This is one of my most favorite parts of being in the role as a CEO, to go into some of our VPK classrooms. I've dressed up in characters. My favorite book, by the way, or my favorite childhood book, is The Little Engine That Could. Because of that message, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, and the hope that it gives. For me, reading brings about the opportunity to, you're listening to someone tell you the words, but in your mind, it's your own imagination that's going on as you're imagining these characters the way you see them. And it's just building that love for reading.
Right.
Like you can go to a place that you've never visited before by reading a book.
Exactly.
And so reading has always been an escape for me, something that I love to do. When I have the opportunity to go into a classroom, the children are excited. They're
Right.
excited because you're in character. I get down on the floor with them on their level.
Right.
They're asking questions about the book. And usually I have a staff member that goes with me, and she has an activity that they'll do after we read the story to kind of tie it back in. We leave each and every child with a copy of the book and encourage them, hey, why don't you go home and share this story with your family, whether it's a sibling or a parent, and they can reverse the roles. You know, I read it to them. Maybe you can try to read it to mom or dad.
Right. And then in their mind doing that, they hear your voice, and how you presented it to them. Oh, they must be so excited.
They are.
You must get such a positive reinforcement from doing this.
I absolutely love to go into the classes to read, and children are so smart. You know, you can open a page and you're like, what do you think's going to happen by looking at the picture? And they're raising their hands, they're guessing about the train getting over the track or the toys.
Right.
And they have such imagination. Sometimes they're bringing up things that, you know, well, if I'm looking at the picture,
You're going,
I can see where you're going with that.
About that. Yeah. And I see you have your other book about the ladybug. And actually on your website there's some adorable pictures of you dressed up in many different costumes for many different books. And I have to say, what a wonderful program. Thank you for this community. Thanks you for doing that. And we still have more conversations, so we're going to take another quick break.
Okay.
Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're talking about the Early Learning Coalition of Alachua County. And you have, you know, a wonderful staff, Xavier, a great board of directors, a lot of good people supporting you.
We do. We have 25 staff members that are doing an amazing job just working within the community and doing everything that we do at the coalition. Our board chair is Tammy Prince, and our vice board chair is Stephen Pennypacker. All of our board members are such a great support to me in this role, and I appreciate them standing along with me as we try to work in the community.
Yes, definitely. And I know many of your board members, and you're right, great people who are very caring individuals. And, you know, still the community needs to be a part of this too. How can we interact? How can we help you?
We are looking for corporate partners. We're looking for donations. We're looking for companies to come alongside us to join any of our programs, maybe supporting our book club so that we can be able to provide more books out in the community.
Right.
You can donate by visiting our website at www.elcalachua.org, or you can donate through the Gators Give campaign, which will be starting soon, and we're a part of that.
Done. Yes.
And we also participate with Amazing Give when it's done in April.
Yes, I've been a part of that through our junior league. Mm-hmm. All right. So there are many ways we can come aboard and make a difference. And you are making a difference to this community, and you've got some very wise words. Please share some more thoughts with us.
I would suggest that, or actually I call the action of challenging every parent. A colleague of mine, Dr. Fred Hicks, said it best. He said that put down your cell phone, engage with your child, look them in the eye, have social connections with them.
Right.
Those things are so important as we begin to pour into the next generation so that they're socially able to interact in a classroom, and so that they'll be able to read. and teach the generation that's going to come after them. Each one of us have the opportunity to make the generation that we're in good and make the generation that's coming next better. And how can we do that? One child at a time, one book at a time. We can even go down and say one word at a time.
When you break it down that way, then it seems everybody can take a part in this. And again, we've said we're all one community. So if part of us is not reading well enough and is going to go to school and not be able to have a successful life, already sees a disconnect, that just brings the community down.
It does.
And what we want to do is enrich everybody, bring the community up. So if it takes the one word, and there's so many wonderful people in our community that would be willing to volunteer. Could they come and read? Could they be a part of Early Learning Coalition in some of these ways too?
They can come. We have to do backgrounds if they come out to read, but they can contact our coalition and we can find out what skill sets that they have and utilize them in a partnership. So.
Okay, and put that together. That gives me that's good to know, and it really makes a big difference. I'm sure that in your time frame at Early Learning Coalition, you can think of some of the kids that have come across, especially in your book reading. What have you seen? Do you see the light bulb go on in their mind and in their eyes when they understand, ooh, reading, this is fun, and I can do this?
I have seen that light bulb go off where there's an interest. They're more drawn to the character than the words right away. But when you drag them into a book that they have interest in, they want the book, and so they're reaching for the books, and you can tell that there's going to be an excitement there, that you've turned on that light. Child care is one of the most expensive, expenses a family can have. Child care for an infant costs about $1,300 a month, and that's about 40% of some of the families that we serve income. And so that is something that I would like for people to consider when you're thinking about partnering with us. Our families really could use that help.
Yes, and the difference between a mom getting to go out to work but knowing her child is cared for, just in making the success of the family.
Yeah. The number one reason that people leave workforce is childcare. That's not an Alachua standard. That's not a Florida State standard. That's a national standard all over the world.
A lot to think about. Thank you, Xavier, very much, and everyone at Early Learning Coalition of Alachua County. We appreciate you, certainly. And I'm so glad you tuned in, and I hope you'll join us next time. Take care.